Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be looking into an important topic called utilization of public funds. So it forms the basic part, or it is a part of syllabus of GS4 Ethics. So let's get into the topic. See, the term public funding here refers to the funds or resources provided by the state or government to political parties or politicians, for example. So, like taxes, be it direct and indirect taxes, non tax earnings, and outside financing. These all contribute towards the revenue of the government. These funds together are known as public funds, and they must be spent accordance with the law. So you cannot spend something just randomly. No, you have to follow the procedure and work on it accordingly. Let's look into the need for effective utilization of funds, critical to meet development goals. Although private provision of infrastructure has been expanded in areas like telecommunication, energy, private sectors remain shy away from socially oriented sectors such as water and sanitation. Yes, we all know that like private sector stay away from some resources such as water, sanitation, electricity, and stuff, but they all must be there for proper utilization of public funds, which help for the better society. Efficient use of resources. Weakness in public finance management can contribute to ineffective resource use through number of channels. Like example, you could call in span of 1 year, Dr. Jitendra Kumar Soni, who was the district collector of Nagpur, Rajasthan, ensured that 3068 schools had working electricity connections. So this shows how those efficient resources have been working with, how they are put into use. Next one is planning implementation. Spending public funds obliges the government to make choices on priorities. Through a regular budget cycle of planning, negotiation, and implementation. A former example, you can call it Ashish Tiwari, who is an IPS officer and an IIT Kanpur alumni, and also an ex-investment banker. He developed an app to digitally handle COP deployment, leave management, community policing, and other tasks. This policy actually really helped those people to prioritize tasks and plan properly and implement it. Underutilization of plan. See, when a plan is not utilized, underutilized, the expenditure of states can be linked to institutional and procedural bottlenecks, like in the process of implementing plan schemes, as well as deficiencies in the district level planning process. See, when the plan expenditures are not handled properly, it affects right from the center to the district level planning. So that is something we have to take care. Example, we can call it parliamentary standing committee. On labor set, there had been increase in the allocation of ministry from 12,065.49 crores in the budget estimate, but only 2,566 crores has been spent on February 15, 2021, which amounts to utilization of only 52.8% of the funds. When more funds are used properly, eventually more benefits reap out. Limited power of CAG. The Comptroller and Auditor General of India is the protector of the public purse and regulates the financial system of the country at both at state and central levels. But it can only audit after expenses, not before that. So it has limited power. So that where CAG cannot ensure that the funds are spent properly. Next one is misutilization. Misuse of public funds includes spending without adequate authority or spending is illegal or contradictory to applicable legislation, regulation, policies and procedures. Like purchases that wastefully superfluous and are not in line with the organization's commercial or operational need and also may continue constitute an abuse in the public funds. Like here misutilization you can call it using government's money for personal trips with family. So that is misutilization of funds. A good example we can cite here is one of the former president of India who used the public funds to go on trips with family. Next one is freebies for political power. Irrational freebies entities people. The wasteful spending puts a strain on the government's finances and it hinders the ruling party from spending for everyone. Like when the political power is used on freebies, the power is used on freebies, it cannot spend for proper welfare programs, which clearly affects the development of the society, development of the country, growth of the country. It affects because you are giving free to someone, so eventually that cost must be taken away, that price must be taken away from somewhere, which again goes from the taxation, that because of which the development stagnates. Now let's look into the different ways to strengthen the public finance management system. Transparency. Ensure transparency in public expenditure through voluntary declaration of information and implementation of RTI in letter and spirit, like a Jan Suchana portal. Actually, it's from Rajasthan state of Rajasthan, where the government provides information about the all schemes implemented in the ward and panchayat in one place. So such portal really helps for people to know what is happening. The transparency. Evaluation mechanism. Without monitoring of usage of public finance, which might lead to diversion and corrupt practices, to ensure effective use of public fund, there should be an auditory mechanism. Like example, you can call it CAG audit or budgetary control by parliamentary committees. Next one is social audit. It refers to the engagement of the stakeholders in measuring the achievement of objectivity or objectives under all of the activities of government organization, especially those pertaining to development goals. Example, you can call it NREG, which is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and National Food Security Act. So it brings in all the engagement of the stakeholders to measure the achievement of objectives, and especially those pertaining to development goals. Sustainability of a funding. A public entity using public funds should consider the impact of its financing decisions and future funding needs. Public organization, like it should assure fair and reasonable funding for a cause without jeopardizing long-term service delivery. Example, fertilizer subsidies. are distorting nature and creating environmental challenges. So that sustainability of that part of funding is not properly there, because it is not sustainable. It is not benefiting the future. It is only benefiting the present and not the future. Next one is promoting good governance. Good governance requires decentralization, legislative loopholes, strengthening public institutions like CVC and RTA, administrative and a more democratic society to employ public finances. You can call it legislative loophole to properly access or account to the legislative process, which strengthens the institutions like vigilance commissions, right to information, administrative accountability, and more democratic society to employ properly the public finances. Next one is value for money. The government should find and maintain optimal public expenditure by balancing societal benefits and expenses. Like every government rupee must maximize society's benefits. So that should always be considered into society's benefit. Every rupee spent must benefit the society and not anything else. So let's conclude it. Good governance and digitalization have always reduced corruption and loopholes, but there is still always a long way to go. People's participation, increasing the moral responsibilities in agencies and bureaucracy, focusing on schemes such as proper implementation of schemes and output and transparency procedures can always help in the development of proper utilization of public funds. Hope you guys understood today's lecture. Do watch, like, share and subscribe the channel, and do comment your doubts if you have any. We'll continue with the next lecture soon. Thank you.